Today on One, Always There.
Today on One, your daily dose of local affairs and social media commentary.
Today on One, SWAPO Party welcomes defectors from IPC. LPM refuses to accept Martin Charlie's apology. Government looks into legalizing cannabis. And elderly to benefit through Hug Again Gop Cup initiative.
The SWAPO Party welcomed 12 youth at its headquarters that had returned from the Independent Patriots for Change IPC. The youth, most of whom reside in the informal settlements of Windhoek, claimed that they were misled by the new IPC party and decided to rejoin SWAPO.
From today on, you are a member, a proud...
Referring to them as her children, SWAPO Secretary General Sophia Shaningwa welcomed the youth and stated that they had made the right decision as the party welcomes those that wish to return.
I would like to appreciate you so much for having come back home to your SWAPO party, the party of your fathers and mothers, the party of your ancestors. It is for you to take it to the fore. Come one day. And it is good that you publicly came out and you said we are going to have to hand over the cards of those ones who misled us and receive the new cards of our party SWAPO. Thank you very much for coming to my brother.
25-year-old Esco Jacob joined the IPC just days after it was launched and served as a mobilizer for the political party. He cited a lack of transparency as one of the main reasons why he led a group of youth back to the ruling party. They handed over their IPC party membership cards and received each a SWAPO party card, a constitution booklet and a scarf.
They cannot take someone from regional council and put him here at the local authority positions while we are here. We also get points more than him. That person just got 6 points. That is unfair. So I decided to come back to join my party, SWAPO. I was born in SWAPO and I decided to be in SWAPO and swear I will die in SWAPO also. Why must I be at the party where there's no transparency? There's no transparency.
The Secretary General also lashed out at opposition parties, which she claims continue to take their members, noting that unlike SWAPO, they have not done anything for the country.
They have never implemented even to build a Petra-train toilet. They didn't implement that. They didn't exercise and practice how to do it. Now you are told they want to go and make change. How are they going to make change? They still have to prove themselves from a Petra-train if they have to tell us about the changes that they can bring. For some of us, we have done a lot. That today I can stand up and look behind, and I will not be ashamed to look behind because I know what I have implemented. There was no Onyeka, there was no Okuriangava, there was no Tobias Hainyeko, there was no Shitenda, there was no Joseph Nepando, there was no Hakahana, so as Greenwell Matongo, and Osatotwa in Komasdar.
Shaningwa urged the youth to approach her office if they are ever disgruntled by party affairs and not to join other political organizations. Secretary for Youth Ephraim Nekongo said that the group reached out to the party and made a plea to rejoin SWAPO.
You know what makes Christmas so special? It's that little extra. And at Spar, we have thousands of extras. we're granting thousands of Christmas wishes and giving thousands of our customers free shopping, plus thousands in Christmas savings, like Spar Extra Shelf Life Milk for only $28.99 and Kellogg's Cornflakes for just $41.99. Spar, the home of 1,000 little extras this Christmas.
The Landless People's Movement LPM has rejected the apology from the former General Martin Shali for making a public statement that opposition party members should be executed. The Landless People's Movement Deputy Leader Henny Sebeb is calling on the Namibian Police Force Nampol Inspector General Sebastian Datunga to provide protection to LPM leader Bernardo Swartboy.
That Inspector General Sebastian Datunga must look at offering protection to opposition party leaders.
He should.
Much more Bernardo Swartboy, because he seems to be the only active leader now from the opposition party.
Yes.
In South Africa, in KZN, there we find political killings, and the comments that are being made is that the more we talk, especially about Utoni Nyoma and the others, the more they seem to talk about, slaughtering a human being like a goat. And I wish, how will Shali feel if his son or daughter is their throat is slit? That's a very stupid statement that he made, really. He must not even apologize, he must just go to hell. And the ones that are defending him, like Netumbos and Sophia, what if their children are being done like that? How will they feel? Exactly. Or even herself, how will she feel as a human being? I can't wish for somebody to be killed like a goat or like a cow. That's a very stupid statement that he made. And if I see, he must not even come in front of my face. Maybe I'll be angry and slap him. What kind of a general is that? He thought maybe it's Lubango here.
Sebeb added that the National Union of Namibian Workers should cut their ties with the ruling party, as a trade union should not have a political affiliation.
They must start a regime change in NUNW. Muniaro must be removed, one, because he has been only protecting his belly. He's clearly playing into politics of belly. And he's also useless, a functional nincompoop. So they must remove Muniaro. I've never seen him a day talking about worker struggles in this country.
Never.
COVID. In South Africa, like Svelinzima Vavi's union, SAFTU, they talk about COVID and workers, COVID and labor, how COVID will impact the general workforce in the country. But here, their union is not intellectual. They are anti-intellectual. I don't know whether they even read books like Capitalism's Crisis and so on, the class struggles. Muniaro, when he opens his mouth, is only SWAPO politics.
Exactly.
And also NUNW members must have a special congress next year to delink NUNW from SWAPO.
According to the LPM, there are governors bribing electorates with food parcels to vote for a particular party.
The governor, Mendos April, has been traveling, telling people, threatening pensioners that if you don't remove LPM flag, or if you show your allegiance to LPM, you are not going to get your pension. You are not going to get Harambe food. You are not going to get bribe pack. Apparently, there's a lot of bribe packs that he's dishing out. So what we are telling people is that take his food. Maybe it's a stolen money food. Take and eat. But when you vote, you are alone at the voting booth and go and make a difference. But that one, UN must look into April and then this council.
The Landless People's Movement is gearing up to participate in the 2020 regional, council and local authority elections on the 25th of November 2020.
My vote is a gateway to opportunities.
My vote is a reflection of my aspiration.
My vote expresses my versatility.
If you are 18 years old and a registered voter, make the first time count.
Get to the polls on the 25th November 2020
and vote for the candidate, political party, or organization of your choice in the regional council and local authority elections. Make your mark with a cross on the ballot. Do what is right and be part of the decision. Namibia votes.
The Namibian government, through a special task force, has called on the public to submit credible data on the legalization of cannabis in the country before Sunday, the 21st of November 2020. The special task force, chaired by the Prime Minister's office, aims to include the public in the consultations on the regulation and controlled use of cannabis in the country. As part of the ministries leading the national consultations together with the Finance and Justice Ministries, Johannes Gaisep, the Registrar of Medicine at the Ministry of Health and Social Services, gave an overview of some of the positive and negative effects of cannabis, which the government task force are looking at before considering decriminalizing cannabis in Namibia.
With the latest developments in research with cannabis, there are positives with regard to the plant itself. Obviously, there are medicinal uses that have come out, like we know of it is good for pain, and some for nausea and some for epilepsy for children. So those are the positives which came up recently with regard to cannabis. But obviously the negative bit is the one which is generally known with the abuse and misuse of cannabis, the smoking, which is mostly known. And obviously, if you look at the international reports with regard to drug use, cannabis is one of the most used substance, and people or those who know the abuse of substances indicate that it is kind of the entry-level drug for someone to start using hard drugs. So those are the negatives we have with regard to cannabis. And that's the issue that the ministry and the government of Namibia has to look at when we talk of legalization of cannabis or decriminalizing it. Because the moment we do that or allow the cultivation of the product, for argument's sake, for medicinal use, in most cases the products that are used for medicine is only the flowering tops, and the leaves are kind of waste products, and those are the ones which are being abused. And how do we control that? Does Namibia have the resources currently to probably control the diversion of these things into the, illegal market? And those are the issues that we have to address with these consultative meetings or process we started.
Angela Prusa, founder of the Cannabis and Hemp Association of Namibia, says that the government tends to put more emphasis on the harmful effects associated with the use of cannabis, adding that harm reduction can be significantly achieved through measures such as regulating the market, ensuring that there is transparency and quality control, as well as age restrictions.
One of the things, for me, one of the really important things is when reading the newspaper articles as well, is the fact that the government tends to put the harms of cannabis at the forefront. And I have never said, and I will never say, that cannabis is harmless, but, harm reduction, legalization is harm reduction, because when you make a market regulated, when you make it transparent, when you have quality control, when you are able to place an age restrictions on sales, right now anyone can buy cannabis anywhere, any age, no one's going to ask your ID, and you don't know what's in it. So once legalization occurs, all these things are regulated, and that in itself is harm reduction, as well as being able, because now there is no criminalization, there is no stigma attached, so we can identify the vulnerable people who have an issue with dependence.
According to GAISEP, Namibia has two legislations that are in conflict with each other when dealing with the control and the use of cannabis. These legislations are the Medicines and Related Substance Control Act 13 of 2003, which makes provision for the cultivation of cannabis for medicinal and research purposes, and the Abuse of Dependence Producing Substances and Rehabilitation Centers Act 41 of 1971, which criminalizes the use of cannabis.
keeping it cool. Tafel Lager, Namibian like you.
The Dr. Hage Cup, launched 7 years ago, aims to unite Namibian people. This year, the sponsors and event organizers have decided to cancel the cup competition and provide the elderly across the country with gifts as this year's event. Speaking on behalf of the Namibia Football Association President Ranga Haikali, Peter Njulu, an executive member of the Namibia Football Association, stated that the sponsors and organizers of the event cancelled the game due to the global COVID-19 pandemic and its regulations set in place, stating that it will take away the main aim of the event if it was to be held.
With the coronavirus pandemic, which has changed our way of life. This year, after extensive consultation with His Excellency, the sponsors, and all stakeholders, it was agreed that due to difficulties experienced by the world, but even more so by the elderly, we would later commit corporate social responsibility project. As a responsible organization, the Namibia Football Association would not host the annual event for this year due to the restriction placed by FIFA regulation and related governmental protocols around the COVID-19 and international competition. We would also not like to invite the other nations to come and play in empty stadium due to the various regulations that have been put in place to curb the spread of COVID-19, and therefore making it difficult to host the annual competition. We are therefore pleased to inform you, Your Excellency, that we are happy to take the resources for the tournament to be invested in corporate social responsibility, which means the benefit of the game of football be shared for the elderly around the country. This gesture will not only bring a smile to the elderly, but also will a boost for the competition. On behalf of the NFA President, let me take this opportunity to thank you, Your Excellency, for your continuous support to the game of football and the social responsibility that the game has towards our elderly.
Officially launching the initiative, the head of state of Namibia, who is the patron of the Hage Cup, applauded the kind gesture.
For the elderly people, we thought, what do we do this year? And the young man kept to consult me. There will be no football. What will be the thing we can do that is making sense in sharing during this difficult period? They said, no, you are right, let's think of elderly people. They are the ones who are lonely sometimes, and they are the ones who may need this. So I thank the sponsors and young men here that they thought of this devoting this card, incomes, whatever you call it, to give something to the elderly people all over the country. So we are launching that now here in Randwick, but it means it's for the whole country. And that really was a very brilliant idea. What best can we do with this?
Tafel Lager and MTC both sponsored 1.6 million Namibia dollars respectively, with Bang Windhoek sponsoring an amount of 250,000 Namibia dollars.
The Namibia Statistics Agency is busy with census mapping, a preface for the main population and housing census to be conducted in 2021. Census mapping aims to demarcate the entire Namibia into uniquely defined units of enumeration areas to provide an accurate national geographic frame to conduct census. To find out more, tune in to Conversations with the NSA this week Thursday, as from 1 p.m. broadcast on all social media pages of the NSA, as well as One Africa TV and 99 FM social media pages. Play your part. Be counted.
In other leading stories, blood collections have dropped significantly, with the Namibia Blood Transfusion Service currently only having 3 days of blood stock throughout the whole country. With December fast approaching and blood levels being low, it is a crucial time for the service to collect enough blood to be able to meet demand. If you are well and able to spare 30 minutes of your time, regular and new blood donors between the ages of 16 and 65 years old can donate at any of the fixed site centers in Windhoek, Swakopmund, Walvis Bay, Ondangwa or Oshakati. NAM BTS has also scheduled numerous blood donation clinics in various towns throughout the festive season in a bid to avail the opportunity for Namibians countrywide to donate blood and save lives. And the Namibia hake trawl and long life fishery has become the first fishery in Namibia and the second in Africa to meet the globally recognized standard for sustainable fishing set by the Marine Stewardship Council, an environmental non-profit organization. The certification recognizes progress made by the Namibian government and fishing industry in rebuilding hake stocks, which in the past were decimated by overfishing by foreign fleets. To be MSC certified, a fishery must show the fish stock is healthy, that it minimizes its impact on the environment and has effective management in place. A global surge in consumer interest in sustainably sourced products means demand is outpacing supply. MSC certification will ensure the fishery can continue to export to markets in Southern Europe and will help it expand into retail markets in Northern Europe. Supermarkets and brands in these markets often prefer the fish and seafood they stock to be MSC certified. Fishing is the third largest sector of Namibia's economy, with hake making up the majority of the sector and directly employing more than 10,000 people. The bulk of hake industry jobs go to women who clean, fillet and pack the fish for export in factories around the ports where the hake is landed. MSC certification is expected to help the sector grow, benefiting the economy, communities and creating more jobs.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. In light of the anniversary of the hashtag Fishroad scandal, a group of protesters recently handed over a petition to the Anti-Corruption Commission calling for the Anti-Graft Body's Director General Paulus Noah to step down with immediate effect for reasons such as the snail-paced progress made in the investigations of high-profile corruption cases. Kagao said Noah should know that the people are tired. Dionish said that leaders are not serious at all and that Namibians need to work together. Cosme said the ICC is wasting government resources but blames opposition parties for only wanting to get votes ahead of anything else. Pala said the protests are wrong. One thing he said, when did the ICC ever retrieve lost funds? Ben said the ICC is forever investigating. Trustco Group Holdings has welcomed a new group of young, dynamic individuals to the training boardroom. Trustco pioneered board-level skills development in 2018 when it launched and appointed its first junior board. Im said that he is inspired because they all have excellent academic records. Shalaguda said no person holds a qualification from the institution. MK questions the gender representation. While Polu said that women are the future. And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on DN1.
A look at the weather forecast. The Namibia interior is sunny and hot in the south and west. Otherwise, partly cloudy and hot to very hot with a few thunder showers in the east, but isolated thunder showers in the northeast and far north. The coast, partly cloudy and mild with fog patches at first, and the wind fresh southwesterly to southerly. Now we look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.
For as little as 20 Namibian dollars a month, you can get funeral cover from Sanlam, with claims that get paid out within 7 hours. To get a quote or for more information, simply SMS your name, town, and contact number to 555 for a callback. No obligations, T's and C's, and standard SMS rates apply.
Akili, 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 akili. Let's just